Here we are. We are parked at Blackrock Gap. There's Brian's car. We are head down the trail behind us, down to, it's called Pain Run Trail, and we're going to spend the night in Blackrock Springs tonight. So a little short overnight. We'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Here we are on the trail. We're basically going downhill, down into the valley down there. When we first jumped on the trail here, we ran into signs of horse. There was some horse manure. So this trail is big enough and they allow horses to come on here. We also ran into signs of bear, though it wasn't bear scat, it was actually shedded bear fur. So the rangers did warn us that there was some heavy bear activity up in this area, so we will be sure to hang up our food tonight, but that's a practice we keep anyway, so we're not too worried about it. Here's a nice view of this windy, leisurely trail that's heading down into the valley. We're really only about a quarter mile into this now, so it's a short hike down to the bottom. It's roughly a mile or a mile and a quarter or something like that. We're not sure how much longer after that we're going to be able to find a place to camp, or how long it's going to take us to find a place to camp. But we will find out when we get there. It's late in the afternoon now. It's near 3 o'clock, so we don't have a lot of time anyway. We knew this was going to be a short hike, so we left late. As we were walking down the trail here, we noticed right here is the old access road, fire access road, that led down to the bottom of the valley. Here's the new one, and there is the old one, very old apparently. That follows us for a little ways. We took a little break for a second. The trail turned to the right, and I know it's hard to see on camera, but we're actually heading down a small ridge here. It goes downhill. On this side you can see mountains and the sun poking through, all the colors of the leaves. And then over on the other side, it's the same thing. It goes down the mountain there, but you see the mountains around us. So it's got a little ridge that we're walking down on this path. Brian was just pointing out a minute ago before I turned the camera on that we have to watch our footing. There's all these, fall leaves on the ground, but there's also all these softball and baseball sized rocks we could trip up on. So we are walking slower than we normally would, but it's all right. We've got time. Even with the late start, we should be able to get down and find a place to set up camp. We're definitely moving down the mountain. We're in the switchback area of the trail. It takes a turn going this way down here. You can see all the shadows that are here. I'm going to turn up here, see if I can grab the sun for you. The sun, though not showing up on the camera, is about right there. Yeah, there it goes. So it's moving down to behind the mountain pretty quickly. We are probably about 3/4 of the way down, you think?
Yeah.
About 3/4 of the way down. There's going to be a turnoff down here off to the right where there's the trail that we want to take to Blackrock Springs, which is where we are heading for the night. So we have not been down here before, so we don't know what it looks like.
My understanding is that it's not much of a trail.
So it's not much of a trail, which means that it might not be well marked either. So we're going to have to keep our eyes peeled. If not, we did bring enough water as a just in case, so we will be okay for this overnighter. But man, it is spectacular. All these old ancient hardwood trees that are down here, and I know the color's not coming out, but there's still a lot of color in these mountains here. Early November. We think we found it. Coming down here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a double yellow blaze on the tree. I forgot to point out at the beginning of this video that we're following the yellow blaze Two blazes like this means that there's a sharp turn in the trail. So when I come down here, you'll see that the trail I'm on circles down that way, but that there is another trail going straight ahead. And this is the, according to our map, the Blackrock Springs trail. So Piney Ridge continues on that way, and now we are on Blackrock Ridge. Nope, Blackrock Springs. So not a very well kept trail. As you can see, I have to get through the thorns and the brush, but we are on our way. A common term on the trail is blowdown, and I wanted to point out what it looks like. So this is blowdown. You have to crawl over. Again, not a very well kept trail. But a trail nonetheless. Another tree down. Another log across the trail here. We are definitely off the beaten path, but we are pretty sure that we're on the right trail to the spring. Again, it's definitely not heavily trafficked, but there is a definite path here. So where we are going are some old ruins of an old lodge here that used to promote these springs as healing waters, and it burned down, I don't know, 100 years ago. I'd have to check my facts, so don't hold me to that. But somewhere back here are some old remains of an old lodge. That's what we came to see. We think we found our first foundation remnants. You come up over here. I'm actually standing on part of it. You see, look at the wall rock right there. It's not really prevalent at this angle, but it follows along there. And I think that this was once a building where I'm standing. It's definitely man-made. We are definitely following an old road or path through the woods here. If you see the rock wall on the camera, that is definitely stacked by man. It's pretty flat right here. We've been walking around exploring a little bit, and there's some spots that are really soggy. I got my foot a little wet in one spot. The ground is just so soft. We did find a spring that was just more of a drip coming out of the ground. We don't know if that's the actual Blackrock Spring or not, but it very well could be. There's no signs out here, and I'm trying to get through all this brush, but you see here more of this rock wall. Trying not to fall down as I walk over here, but more of the rock wall. We don't know if that's all of the kind of remains that we're going to find down here. We're going to continue to explore, and I'll turn this on as we find more. We're standing in what we think was a cabin. Down here, there's a little rock wall in a corner that goes this way. And it goes over here to where these trees are, and it comes across right there. And then to this rock wall over here. And then it comes back to about where Brian's standing here. And comes back over here again. So we actually think that we found where a cabin stood. Because we know that there was we heard that there was some sort of big cabin and then some small cabins that were here, and there was, did you say 5 springs or 7?
7.
7 different springs that they promoted that would heal different ailments. So this is really a neat find. We're having a lot of fun. This is exactly what we were hoping it would be when we decided to do this adventure. We are deep in the heart of the the mountains right now. There's just nothing out here. Nobody comes this way. So, well, man, what a lot of fun. We will we'll bring you back on if we find any more. What I'm looking at here is this, another rock wall. I mean, what we think is we think this right over here is a road. I think if you look at the big trees, you can kind of see a clearing where there's a bunch of little trees that have been growing for a while, but it looks like it zigzags there and even goes off to the right. I see another rock wall over here up top there to the left. And if you follow this back behind me, the rock wall continues a little bit. There's some logs. It kind of crumbles, but then it picks back up down over there. We think that this is the road that zigzags, switchbacks down to where we first came in at, down at the bottom. We have no way of knowing if that's what it is or not, but that's what it appears. Brian and I have been exploring around and talking about it, so this has been a lot of fun. It's really neat, and we're really glad that we came. Here we are. We have definitely found a spring here. I mean, it did rain last night, but I'm telling you now, the ground is solid everywhere, and there has been no standing water whatsoever. And now we come across this. We've come across some soft spots. Look, here's a rock wall right here. We've come across some pretty soft and soggy spots. You see this one's up on a ledge. I mean, here's the ledge right here. But this is a definite spring coming right out of the ground. Fresh water. Oop, my feet just sank down right there. So careful.
Yeah.
Brian's gonna attempt it here. So we're at camp. We made coffee. There's the tent. We are going to go flyless tonight because there's no rain. I mean, it is blue skies, not even a cloud. We did have a mishap. Those are Brian's pants and his socks and a shoe. And Brian is hanging out in camp drinking coffee in his liner, pants liner. So he slipped up on a rock right next to that deep spring that we were filming earlier, and he did manage to not get drenched. He has dampened feet, but not dampened spirits. So we're still here and having a good time. We're going to be finishing up our coffee, and then we have to go find a place that we can set up our cooking station and where we're going to hang our bear bags for the night, because there is a lot of bear activity here in the national park, and we're not going to take any chances, so we'll check in later. Behind me is where we are we're set up. That's our camp kitchen. We are about 200 to 250 yards from our tent site where we're going to sleep tonight. Yeah, just due to the high bear activity, we're going to be camping again away from where we're eating. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not. I'm going to try to zoom into it. But hanging in the middle, right above my finger there, is where we're going to be hanging our bear bags tonight. We've got something weighing down the line now. So, you know, it's good practice. We do it on most of our backpacking trips, where we hang up the bear bags, and so our food is away from us. And we'll be doing it again tonight. You can see it is getting dark out here. You can kind of make out the sun at the top of the mountains over here and over here. And as I scan around, you can see where the sun is playing on top of the mountains around us. So it is getting darker here and cooling off. So we will be breaking out our cold gear pretty soon. We brought everything with us to set up. our dinner spot. We're gonna make some hot tea right now, and then cook dinner when we're hungry, and just enjoy being out here. It's been a fun day. You can see I've got my fleece on and my stocking hat. It has not been that long since I last filmed, but it is cooling off quickly here. Here's where we're going to be hanging the bear bag. There's some extra line there, a rock holding it down the line. So once we are done tonight, we'll put all the food, all the cooking equipment, anything that has a scent to it in our bear bags, and we'll raise that up. What I am doing now, unfortunately, is I left my eating utensils back at our tent site. So I am walking back to go get my fork or my spork so that I can eat dinner, because it is something that I will need. So this will probably be the last time I film tonight, so probably talk to you in the morning.